Hey gamers, what is up? Gunny69 here with another edition of Disney Infinity Toy Box. Today I'm doing something totally different than I usually do. I'm not that much of a tutorial type person, but I'm going to keep my word to one of my fellow creators out there, the Bowtie Guy, and show how to create certain levels on this awesome game here. And as you can see, I've got Gamora here. So we're going to start with a tutorial on how to build a door, or a working door, automatic, however you want to configure it. And as you can see, I've already gotten a lot of the material that I'm going to need to show you this tutorial. So we're going to start out with these two blocks here. This is going to be your door. Now, if you're anything like me and you really like science fiction, I'm going to show you how to put some galactic panache on it, so to speak. But right now, this is just a basic door, so we'll start with this block. And we're going to put it over here. And as you can see, it's forming a doorway. Regular thing. No big deal. But let's say that you want to make an automatic door, or one that you have to configure in order to get the door open, or just a regular push button open door. So if you're anything like me, here's what I do. Now I'm going to move this upward, the square block. Now I'm going to take these two tall blocks here, and I'm going to move them on the inside of this. You don't have to do this, but I'm just doing it because I just like sci-fi. And we'll move this over here. Now, once I slide the top piece down, you're going to see that it doesn't fit, because there's another block there. However, if I take this trigger area here and slide it up here like so, and then grab the block, slide it down, now look at that. And now it's in place. Now, you don't necessarily have to use a trigger area. I'm going to move this back up and show you something different. I prefer to use the trigger area, but you don't necessarily have to use it. You could use a scaling barrier block. Let's see if I can find that really quick here. See, would that be with the Creativity Toys? No. Let's see if it'll be with the Gameplay Toys. There we are, Platform Toys. So you could use a scalable barrier block and it'll work just as well. You can put that there. Then you can grab your block, slide it down, and as you can see, it works just as well. I myself prefer to use the trigger area. So now that we've got that established, we'll move on to the next phase. Now, let's just say, I had this for an earlier tutorial. Let's get this out of the way here. Now, let's just say that you want to create a door that slides to the side or slides up or slides down, however you want to create it. So now here we'll do this. What you're going to need is a path creator, and we'll place it in the middle like so. Now I'm going to go to the right with this one, but whenever you create yours, you can make it go up, you can make it go down, to the left, however you want to do it. Now we're going to take hold. This is still hooked up to this thing. Hang on a second. Okay, now we're going to go up and get a whole new block. Here we go. Now we're going to go over. There we go. Block wall. Now I'm going to paint this a different color. We'll just go with modern for now. Okay. Now that we've got the block wall, now make sure that it's facing this way. You don't want it facing this way, because if you put it on that path creator like it's facing now, I promise you that's the way it's going to be going. So you don't want it to do that. You want to turn it this way, like so. Now you want to go into the properties. So we put the new path connection, which is this one here. Connect. And look at that. See, it's moving. Now you want to catch it like this. And now you want to establish the properties. So with the toy box path, you can make this go as fast or as slow as you want. But let's just say that you want it to move faster than 100. So I'm going to go to 200 here. And then I'm going to go down to loop. Now I prefer to go reverse one way and stop, because if you do one way and stop, then this is going to stop inside of one of these walls here. It's going to stop inside the doorway, literally, and then you're going to have to try to go inside the doorway in spark mode to try to pull that thing out, and that's going to be a headache, and I prefer not to do that. So I'm going to go with reverse one way and stop, and get back out of that. And now, as you can see, the door is in place. Okay, you can't go in or out. The door is in place here. Now, since I've already got the ability terminal here, we'll go with the advanced mode here, I prefer to call. So what you want to do, set up the new logic connection with this ability terminal. Now once the terminal is hacked, go to terminal hacked and highlight your block wall, connect the toy box path, and reverse. But beware, as you can see, it's not activated, so you're not going to be able to do anything with this door just yet. However, once again, the trigger area will be your friend. And I'll show you. With the trigger area, you can take it and shrink it down a bit, like so. Well, before we put it over this thing, there's one thing I need to mention here. For the properties on this ability terminal, here's the character type right here. Now I set it to any, but you can set it to whatever type character you want to be able to unlock this door. It could be a marksman or somebody who carries a lightsaber, somebody who's force sensitive, who uses the force, a villain, wall crawl like Spider-Man, super jump, super strength like the Hulk, web sling like Spider-Man, or flight like Thor, or Falcon, or a tech character. I prefer to just use any because I never know what type of character I might want to use in one of my little adventures that I create. So I just go with any. And I don't worry about a time limit. I never have. So now that we've got this set up, what we want to do is go to the trigger area, set up the new logic connection. Now once it's entered by a player, I prefer to use the player. So once it's entered by a player, any player, then it is going to activate this ability terminal. Now I'm going to go back to the trigger area and put in a new logic connection. Now once it's exited by the player or any player, now I'm setting it to where it will deactivate. So now what we're going to do is to take this trigger area and set it over the ability terminal like so. Now once we enter it, well, we should be able to activate this. I don't know why it's acting like this. Slide it back out a little more. There we go. That's weird. Alright, let's see what I did wrong here. Let's retrace our steps here. Yes, we've done everything like that. That is totally weird. Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get rid of that. And what we'll do is use the new logic connection for this. Now once it's entered by a player, any player, then we'll connect it to the wall here, toy box path, reverse. And once it's exited, we'll have a new logic connection here, new logic exited by player, any player, toy box path, and reverse. Now, in order for it to work like this, I'm going to widen this a bit. And now I'm going to slide it into the doorway like so. Now watch what happens. See how it slides right open. Slides open. Once you get inside, it slides shut. Now you can do this with the ability terminal, depending upon how advanced you want to get with this. So now I'm going to get rid of that And now what we're going to do, let's see, I need a button. Here we go. Place one right here. And I did indeed do this when I created the Skywalker homestead. But the procedure is still pretty much the same. What you'll do, you'll take this button, new logic connection, and once it's pressed, you set it to this toy box path and reverse. And that's virtually all you need to do with this. Now watch what happens. Punch it, and then it goes open. Then once it opens back up again, punch it again, and it closes. Now, once again, I'm going to take this StarkTech piece of machinery here, and I'm going to place it in here. Like I said, I want to give it a bit of galactic panache here, but you can't just place it here. Here's the secret to doing this, and once again, I owe my knowledge to this to that brown bat, because he was the first one to enlighten me on how to do this. So you take this, and then you keep on making. Now be warned, sometimes, well, it didn't do it that time, but you go all the way back to 1. Now, in order to get this to stay here, you just move it to either side, like so, and leave one there as a dummy. Now, as you can see, that piece of machinery is now in the doorway. So what you want to do now, you go to this, make sure you get on the StarkTech archway, and you hit Theme All. Because if you don't do it in this particular manner, what's going to happen is if you save it and exit your toy box, that doorway and that StarkTech archway will not be there. Okay? So you want to theme all. Yes. And now, you're still not done, because what you need to do now is to go back and reapply it. So now, once you set it, it's going to be there unless you delete it. So here we go again. See that? And now you have your doorway. So we're going to close this doorway. So this is one type of doorway that you can create. Now I'm going to go to another specific type of doorway, which turns out to be my favorite type of doorway once you create like a rebel base or an imperial base or something like that. So you're using the same type of blocks. I'm going to move over a little bit more with this. Now, that's going to be too big. Okay, we'll do this one, or ramp block for here. And then you want to go and use a balcony block, like so. Now, do you see the galactic pattern that I'm creating here? Of course now, you might want to move this down a bit. There we go. like so. And then we're going to use, let's see, yes, that'll do nicely. Oops, unfortunately I deleted that block, but we can just slide that over here, create another, and voila. Now we have a different type of doorway, but you're going to see that the procedure is going to be pretty much the same. So for this particular doorway, I like to use, let's see, the large block wall here. Now, you can do this either way. You can use a large block, you can use 2 of them, or you could use 1. To make things simple, I'm just going to use 1 for right now. So now what we're going to do, of course, we're going to find another path creator. Gameplay, Creativitoys, path creator, right there. And we're going to put it in the middle here. Now what we're going to do, we're going to move up. And I prefer to put it right there in the middle here. And then we'll get out of that. And once again, I'm going to paint this. Modern texture. Now, for the new path connection, I'm going to hit it here and go over to this. Connect. And now look. Now once again, I'm going to do reverse and stop. Now this you got to watch, because as you can see right here, the camera angle is not your friend here. So your toy box path, and whatever speed you want, you can make it however fast or how slow you want it. And you don't have to worry about orient along path. For this one, I'm going to go again with 200. Click done for R2. And go down. Of course, you want the movement style to be loop. Now once again, I'm going to reverse one way and stop. Now for you seasoned gamers, you can do it whichever way you want to do it. I prefer to do it this way because it's a little simpler for me. So now we're going to get back out of this. And as you can see, it stopped. The door is now closed. And you do not have access to it. So what we're going to do now, go over to the Creativitoys, and I'm going to get another button. Place it here. And I'm going to configure it like so. New logic connection. When pressed. And then we'll put it on the large block wall here that you're using as a door. Toy box path, connect, and reverse. Now, as you can see, we're going to punch this, and there it goes. Now, since it's opened back up again, we're going to punch it again, and we have it closed. And as demonstrated before, you could do this with an ability terminal. You can do it with a button. You can do it with a trigger area, which I'm going to demonstrate now once more. So right now we're going to get rid of this. To make this an automatic door, we're going to use a trigger area. Yeah, we'll just slide that right over here. And now we're going to configure it. So we go to logic connection. Once entered by a player, any player, now you can choose whichever person or whatever you want to trigger this thing. I prefer to choose the player, depending upon what adventure I'm going to put together. Select your creativity, which is going to be your large block wall once again, and connect. Toy box path. And it's going to reverse it once you enter it. Now, we'll do another logic connection. Once exited by a player, any player, go back to your block wall and connect. Toy box path, and then reverse. Now, as you can see, the toy box path is there and the trigger area is here. If you move in and out of it, you see it moves up, move back out, and moves down. Then it's just a simple matter of moving your trigger area right into the doorway. Boom, like that. Now watch what happens when we go in. Ta-da! And right now, I'm going to move the trigger area out. Now this particular doorway, this is more advanced. So I'm going to get rid of this right now. This time we're going to use two of them. But first I want to paint it. And then get this one, and we'll paint this one the same way. Now we're going to get rid of this path creator. Here we go. Now we're going to use two of these. We're going to set one here. Make sure it's in the center. Set it in there. And now we're going to use another here. Once again, make sure it's centered. And we'll set that one here. Now, as Han Solo himself once said, and Anakin Skywalker, here's where the fun begins. You're going to take this new path connection, and you can place it on either one that you want. Connect. And now you can see it's moving back and forth along this path. And it's hard to grab it when you're in spark mode. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get out of spark mode here. And I'm going to grab it like this. And for the properties, now this is where it gets frustrating because the camera angle, when you tend to build something like this, the camera angle is very unfriendly. So I'm going to do what I can here. You're going to see what I'm talking about Once again, you've got the movement style that's a loop. Now, I'm going to do reverse one way and stop again. Alright. Now, what you want to do here is use your properties. So you hit your square button. And you see, oh, this is where it gets kind of frustrating. But the properties here, toy box path. Now, you don't know because you can't see, and it will not allow you to change the angle here. So now you just have to pretty much guess at what you're doing. So I'm doing the horizontal offset here. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to get back out of it and see where I went. Okay, that's too far. So I know not to go that way. So now we're going to go back to properties. Toy box path. With horizontal. We're going to go back here until you get to what looks like the middle, and then we'll stop. And you just hit your circle button, get back out of it. And now you leave that there. Now we will go to the next block wall. New path connection, which will be this one here. And connect. And now what we'll do with the properties, once again, we've got it at 100. We'll keep it there. Go down to loop. And I'm going to go once again to reverse one way and stop. And now we'll exit out. Now you can see right there how far over this wall is. So now we're going to move it back, go to properties. Once again, here we go again with the camera angle. The camera angle is not your friend sometimes when it comes to this. So with the horizontal offset, we're going to go, let's go negative this time. Let's see which way we go from here. Okay, you can see we're going the wrong way here. So now what we need to do is go back into properties. Horizontal offset again. What do you know? It's working this time. Now what you want to do, now you can see it's right there, but you don't want to stop it right there. You want to move it to where it's right there. Now you can see that little crack right there in the door. This is where you want it, and I'll show you why in just a few moments. But right now, we want to get back out of this. All right. Now, once again, we're going to make this an automatic door. So we'll take the trigger area here and configure it. New logic connection. When entered by player, any player, and we will do this door, connect, and it will reverse. Now, we'll go back again. New logic connection. When exited by the player, and we will connect it again. And it will reverse, which means it's going to go back to its original position here. And now we're going to do the same with the right door. New logic connection, entered, player, any. And like I said once before, you can have this set up any way you want. You can have AI come there, or you could have just pretty much anybody just walk through it and it'll activate it. I prefer to use the player. Toy box path. reverse. And now we'll do the same for the exit. New logic connection. When exited, player, any, connect, and reverse. And just like with the singular door over here, with these double doors here, all you have to do now, you can test it out. You run into it, and look at that, it opens. And then it closes back when you run out of it. Now we're going to slide it into the doorway here. And here we go. Once you enter and exit, and that's how you make your automatic door. Now, like I said, you can do this with a button. You can get rid of the trigger area and do it with a button like over here, or you can attach an ability terminal to it and get pretty much the same results. But this concludes the tutorial on how to create your automatic doors. Now, most of you seasoned gamers out here, you guys already know this. This is just pretty much for the benefit of those who are trying this for the first time. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is go into my interior. I've already set it up. And guys like That Brown Bat and I think 72 Pringle has, these guys have tutorials on how to bring your interior from your interior toy box outside. So you can go on either one of their sites or either one of their tutorials on YouTube and figure out how to do this. But I've already set it up, so we're going to go in here now and bring some things out. All right. Now, first, you're going to put your ribbon up here. And once you get to electronics and appliances, these things are pretty much on the interior. Then you exit from here. Now what you want to do is go over to this button and hit it. But do not leave your interior until you put the ribbon back up. Because if you leave before putting that back up, then you're not going to bring anything out of it. So we're going to hit this button. Put the ribbon back up. And now you see it's travel to level 1, which is where we are right now. I haven't named this level yet, but we're going to go back. Continue. Now we're going to go back up top.
Here I go!
Wow. I wasn't expecting that. But we do have this. You can see the electronics and supplies and appliances. And I don't know why this hooked up like that. Oh. Okay. And I brought all this up here for a reason. You're going to see in a little bit. Depending upon what you want to build or put in, I'm going to take one of these canisters out right here. And now Well, maybe a computer or two. Now we're going to go up some more. You can use wall hangings or however you want to present your toy box. Cabinets, here we go. These are favorites of mine. So we'll put that here and this here. Maybe a corner cabinet here. The reason this keeps fading in and out, I don't know why, but there's a glitch down there and Gamora is still down there on the bottom. So whenever I move a certain way, she might fall off the edge, and that's why they started over again. So now, with all of these out, what we're going to do... Wow, she fell off again. Let's move this back over this way. Here we go. Let's see if there's anything else we might want to hang up. Well, here. Now let's find some chairs. Come full circle here. Hang on a second. Whoa, definitely don't want that. Here we go. Seating and beds. These are favorites of mine right here as well. This is how I created one of my cantinas. Could use this. And another one of these. Alright. Now we're pretty much done here. Oh, wow. Forgot this. I got her inside the block. Wow. How did I get her inside there? Wow. Okay. Usually I can go into spark mode and get her out of this, but... Okay, now. Here we go. Let's get that block out of here. The scalable barrier block so we don't have another incident like that. Okay. Now what we want to do, I'm going to show you guys how to put things against certain areas. We're going to start with this canister here. Now as you can see, you can move it around, but once you try to put it up against this, see it's red. It won't stay. So what you want to do, you want to take this, let's see here. Let's exit the spark mode first. There we go. Now, we want to take this and move it up just a bit. And since we already put this thing against it, we know how far to go with it. So, we'll put it here, and that's where it's going to go right there. Now, once again, once you bring this down, as you can see, it's not going to fit. Or did it? Wow. That's the first time that's ever happened. Usually I'll put a trigger area there and slide that back down and it will stay up against it. But this time it was really, I don't know what you could call it. That was a glitch or miraculous or whatever you want to call it, but that's the first time that's ever happened. And it'll stay there until you delete it. Now what we're going to do, we're going to get another wall, like so. Now I'm going to put this, let's see, over here is good enough.
I haven't done this in a while.
Exit the spark mode here for a second. Alright. Now with this wall here, I'm going to use this cabinet. Now as you can see, that wall over there, it's not big enough, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to change it and go up to one that's wide enough. Ah, here we go. Yes, this will do nicely. Okay, so now we're gonna take this. Now let's just say that you want to put a cabinet, you're building a house or something like that, and you want to take this and put it up against this wall here. As you can see right now, it's not going to go, depending upon where you want it. If you want it all the way over here or wherever, but either way you see it's red here and it's not going to go. But now you have a pretty good idea where you want it. So what we're going to do here, we're going to bring this out and up, and now let's get out of the spark mode here because I don't want her to fall off again. Okay. Now once again, we'll find a trigger area or a scalable barrier block, whichever you want to use. And we will put it here for the time being. Now, let's see. Exit the spark mode. And now my trigger area has disappeared. Hang on here for a second. There we go. There. Now my trigger area is back. Now what we want to do, we're going to measure it again. Put this up against the wall. Leave it out a bit. Now, if you want to put it down lower, here's what I do. I take it and I'll move the floor piece down a bit. Ah, shouldn't have done that. Let's try that again. All right. Now, we'll move this back a bit. If I can grab it really quick. There we go. Move this back just a tad. Now we will get the trigger area and slide that into place here. Like so. Make sure you get it all over this area here. Now we're going to move this back up front. Or you can move it up or you can move it down. Now let's just move this back here a bit because I wanted this down. And I think, let's see, there we go. Because see, if you move it down with the floorboards in the way, then it's not gonna work. So now what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna set that there, and now I'm gonna move the wall over here where it'll butt up against it. As you can see right there. And now I'm gonna bring the floorboard back up And now you can see everything is in place. Now when I slide the trigger area out of this, look at that. Voila. And now we have the cabinet set where we want it. And it will remain there once again until you delete it. And you can do the same with pretty much any of these things. This trick came in very handy when I was building Luke's place. And it's the same procedure. A lot of the times I use this as like a hand and eye wash station right here. But the procedure is the same. We'll take this, move it back again. Move this down. Now we're going to reach and grab this. Move it down. Set it right close to this. Let's see. That should do it. Once again, we're going to grab our trigger area. Place it there. Now we'll move our wall back up, like so. Grab our floorboards, move that up, like so. And look at this. You see? Now you've got a cabinet, hand and eye wash station, or whichever way you want to use this for. Then you can just pretty much just move things around the way you want them. If you're building a house or a little dining area or something like that. You can see there. So this combined with building the doors, you can build pretty much anything. So let's keep in my promise here to the bow tie guy, one of my fellow creators out there. This is how you create different levels within your toy box. If you're building a base, if you're building a house, or whatever you want to try to build. And as I said, I'm not that much of a how-to tutorial type guy, but this is as close as I can come with it. And even here, I can't take all the credit. Like I said, if it weren't for creators like that Brown Bat and the rest of you guys, 72 Pringle, Papa H, Jet Blast 190, and All Night Gaming, and any of the other guys that I might have missed, if it weren't for other creators out there, I would not know how to do this, because I have already beaten the game and I thought that was it. I did not know that you could create certain things like this. So guys, hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I'll see you the next time I have an upload. But until then, God bless, live long and prosper, and may the force be with you.